Hello and welcome to Creating an Action Plan for Business Success. My name is Kimberly Deas, and I'm a business transfer specialist with Murphy Business and Financial Services. The most common question that I get from business owners is now really the time to grow? Is now really the time to continue to flourish my business, or should I still be hunkering down after the long economic winter? And what we're finding right now is from BMO Harris Bank survey is that about 96% of businesses expect their business to grow or to be stable. This is a big indicator that we've entered from an economic winter into an economic spring. And spring's the time when people start to grow their businesses again. It's time when people start to take small risks. They're certainly not taking big risks, but they are starting to take smaller risks. They're starting to reinvest in their business. They're starting to plan their growth. Of course, 92% expected the Florida economy to improve or be stable, and 80% expected the U.S. economy. Overall, we're seeing a wide set of information that tells us that many of our business owners know that the economy has stabilized and they're ready to take those next steps. But if you're ready, let's go ahead and talk about how exactly we can take those next steps. Now, why should you create an action plan? Why not just say, I'm going for it, and do ready, fire, aim? Well, it doesn't quite work that way. See, it's much easier to hit a target that you can see. It allows you to deal with the reality of what's going on, and it helps in your decision-making process. Imagine if you were going on a trip and you said, I'm just going to go get in the car, family, pack your bags, and let's go. They might ask, well, how long are we going to be gone? What type of clothes should I pack? How much clothes should I pack? See, by having a plan and knowing what your target is, you're able to manage the risks along the way. And we're going to talk about those as we continue through this process. Now, the steps for success are pretty simple. Number one is you're going to set your goals. Number two is you're going to find your action plans. Number three, you're going to track your success and engage your employees. And number four, you can compare results against your plan. Now, step number one is to set a specific SMART goal. And a SMART goal is a goal that is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So let me give you an example. A specific goal would not be, I want to grow my business. That is not specific. That is very generic, because growth could be $1 more next year. It could be 10 cents more, and you would still have growth, but that's probably not what you're looking for. So specifically, I want to grow my business by 20% in revenues next year. I want to grow my market share by 5%. I want to increase my sales for XYZ product by 50%. These are specific goals. Now, they have to be measurable. So, for example, when we say I want to increase market share by 50%, how can you measure that? How are you going to measure that specific goal? It's specific, but what's the measurable you're going to put to that? Is it number of units sold compared to attainable market? How are you going to know whether you've accomplished it? A goal must be, you must be able to say, I know whether I did it or not, for it to be a SMART goal. Now, attainable means, can it be done? Can anybody do it? Could somebody sell 50% more sales? Well, sure they could. Could they grow the business from 100,000 to 100 million in 1 year? Probably not. Probably pretty unattainable. And that brings us to the fourth point, which is realistic. And realistic says, is it realistic for your business? Do you have the capabilities? Do you have the capital? Do you have the means, the ability to do that? So you got to ask yourself, when you're setting that goal, does that feel right to you? And then lastly, it has to be time frame. So per year, per month, per quarter, what is your time frame? Say I'm going to grow my business 50% without putting a time frame on it doesn't give your mind or your partners the ability to say how fast they should do something. And when you don't have a speed attached, it often doesn't get done. So in order to have a SMART goal, it has to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Now, tips for setting goals. Remember, your goal is more than just a number. It could be revenue streams, it could be average selling price of a unit, it could be sales, it could be any number of things. And to help you determine if it's achievable, break it down into quarters or months. So if you say, I'm going to grow my business by 50% per year, divide that by 12 and say, okay, I need to grow by this much per month. Can I do that? And if it's not achievable, then back down your number. It's okay to back your goals down and not make them so aggressive. What we find is if you make your goals overly aggressive, you stop trying along the way. They need to be stretching you, but not breaking you. Now, that being said, they also need to be not too easy. In other words, it's easy to say, we're going to do last year what we did this year. That's not a specific goal, because now you're not growing. You're not stretching. And if you're not stretching, your business is actually going backwards. So you need to adjust the plan as needed. It should feel like a stretch, but not like a break. Now here's a quick example. I'm working with the XYZ company, and they said they have a 3-year goal to sell their business for $1 million. Their required adjusted profit is going to be $500,000. So if a profit of $500,000 for them means that they would have to have $2 million in sales. Their current sales are about $750,000. So their sales plan was in year 1 to ramp up to $1 million, year 2 $1.5 million, and year 3 $2 million. Now in order to do that, they need to grow by $250,000 for this year. Now their average client bills about $2,500 a month, and so a new client is worth about $30,000 a year. In order to grow by $25,000 this year, they need approximately 8.3 new clients per year to meet this goal. So now we've broken it down, and you see how we've set the SMART goal, and we've taken it all the way down to a specific actionable item. And that is, we need 8.3 new clients per year. Now let's look at creating action plans. There's 3 areas that we're going to be looking at for action plans. There's marketing and sales, there's operation, and there's finance. In the marketing and sales, we're going to be looking at how do we increase those revenues. If your goals are in the revenue area, you're going to spend a lot of time focusing on your marketing and sales. So these might be some questions to think about. What's your low-hanging fruit? Where can you find customers that maybe are sitting there waiting for you? Where are untapped markets? Where can you market that your competition is not? Where do you have your highest expected return on your channel? What marketing channel is giving you the best opportunities? And how do you incent your sales force? Now, of course, with the increase in sales, you're also going to have to look at operations. What production requirements do you have if you're going to increase? What labor requirements? What processes do you need to have in place? And of course, lastly, you got to look at the financials. Your financials is what keeps that business alive. You've got to know your monthly sales numbers. Look at your sales mix. And cash flow is critical. There's only 2 things that put a business out quicker than anything else. One is having too many customers, and the other is not having enough. Both will run you out of cash. So it's important that you make sure that you can manage your growth as well. Now there's 5 ways to increase revenue. The first is to ask for referrals. If you don't have a set referral plan in place, I mean specifically at step 3, we ask for the referral. At step 7 in the sales cycle, we ask for the referral. It has to be built in. It has to, everybody in the sales force has to know when this occurs, we ask for a referral. And when you can do that, you can drastically increase your sales. Of course, a happy customer is the best referral. Increased value offered, of course, you could increase the value by offering something that's a low cost and then increasing price. You can add new customer pools, you could increase prices or new products, and of course target low-hanging fruit. And low-hanging fruit are things that maybe other competitors aren't going after. Maybe there's a niche out there that you have the ability to go after that nobody else can. Consider those areas. So if we take a look at our example here of the XYZ company, they needed 8.3 clients per year. That comes out to about 1 client a month. So what are the activities or the action plans they had to do? Well, they were going to attend more networking events with target market. They were going to nurture existing potential clients for $2,500 a month in revenue opportunities. They were going to increase their turnaround time per client from 2 weeks to 1 week. All these items is how they were going to handle their action plans. So I'm going to encourage you, if you're sitting here listening, take a moment and pause and think about how are you going to implement your action plan. What are the daily activities that you can do that you can measure yourself against to make sure that you're going to hit your target? Now, step number 3 is tracking your success. This is often called a dashboard, but you need to have some sort of tracking system to be able to tell if you're meeting your goals or not. And this can be done in Excel. It could be done on a simple whiteboard where you color in a thermometer every month. However you want to do it, it just has to be a visual indicator of what you are currently doing. Now, in step number 3, you also want to make sure to enroll employees. If you are a business owner, there's no point in setting these lofty goals if you don't share them with the employees that have to help you achieve them. So it's important that you do share your goals and your strategies and your structures with those people who can help you to achieve. Now in step number 4, you're going to compare your results against your plan. Take time each week to review your monthly objectives. Have an accountability partner. And write a quarterly report to yourself. Sit down and look at your business and say, okay, what did I do this quarter? Did I move the ball forward? Am I moving my business forward? Or are we still like a ship without a rudder and we're just kind of out there and wherever the wind blows is where we're going? This will help you to stay focused and to hit your goals a lot faster. Now in the end, here's a couple tips for staying focused. First is to have a goal list and a daily to-do list. This helps you to know what's important versus what's urgent, because it's very easy to come into the office and the fires are burning, and you're putting out one fire after another, after another, after another, and you never get to what's important because you're always doing what's urgent. So this is a key tip to staying focused, is have a goal list and a daily to-do with your important items on that list. And of course, set priorities and stick to them. If you decided that this is what you had to get done today, defer other things that are not as important. Couple of options here would be to join peer-to-peer mentoring groups. This can help with accountability when you're talking with other CEOs, and there's many of those available in Jacksonville. If you need referral to any of them, I'd be more than happy to tell you about them. Just give me a call. And of course, you could hire a business coach. There's many business coaches available that will be happy to hold you accountable to moving your business forward. In the end, whether you're considering selling your business or just excited about growing your business, I'll be happy to help and provide any resources I can. Consider me the champion of small businesses in Jacksonville and give me a call anytime. Name is Kimberly Deas, and I'm with Murphy Business and Financial Services. You can contact me at 904-571-9550.